Welcome everyone to Antler Singapore's Demo Day. Thank you all for joining us today.
This is our 4th Demo Day from Singapore and our very first virtual one.
I am Jussi Salavara and I'm the co-founder and managing partner of Antler.
I'm Pooja Barwani and I'm the Director of Marketing at Antler.
And I gotta say it's great to have a virtual Demo Day. This way I can say hi to my family in Finland. Good that you can be watching. Great to have you here, and of course all our friends all over the world, including in Southeast Asia. The lead up to this Demo Day has been unlike any other. In January 2020, Antler Singapore brought together 91 exceptional individuals from 28 countries for our 4th Singapore program. They were selected from over 2,500 applicants.
Since then, they have formed teams, been through a pandemic, a lockdown, and in the process managed to validate their ideas, build compelling startups, and gain traction.
Before we dive right into meeting the founders from our new batch of companies, we would like to thank our partners. First of all, many thanks to our main ecosystem partner, Enterprise Singapore, for always supporting us in our mission to bring in the world's most exceptional individuals and building out of Singapore a hub for tech innovation.
We would also like to thank our regional legal partners, Linklaters and Watson, Farley and Williams, for supporting our portfolio of companies in the region with legal advice, guidance and masterclasses. And many thanks to KR Asia for being our media partners and sharing the stories of the companies built in the 4th Singapore cohort.
Let me now give some context to what these founders have been through. These 91 founders joined our program as individuals in January. Over the next 2-3 months, they formed teams, some of them broke up, reformed teams, and found the right business models for them. After 3 months, we as Antler decided which companies we want to support, and after that, the companies have built for 3 months up to this date. So the critical thing to know, these companies are only 3 months old.
Some very interesting statistics about this cohort. They have an average of 9 years work experience and 61% of them come with previous entrepreneurship experience. 38% of the funded companies have at least one female co-founder.
But to mark the opening of our Demo Day, we will now hear from our guest of honor, Chairman Peter Ong of Enterprise Singapore, who has been a big supporter of Antler from the time we set up our headquarters here. Peter, take it away.
Good afternoon, Magnus, Jussi, ladies and gentlemen. And to all our friends tuning in from all around the world, let me extend our warmest greetings to you from Singapore. It is my privilege to join Antler's first ever virtual Demo Day in Southeast Asia. I would like to congratulate the 13 startups in Antler's 4th cohort in Singapore for embarking on and seeing through this journey. As societies reel from industry upheavals precipitated by COVID, your contributions are more vital than ever to address crucial challenges we face today. The COVID-19 pandemic has affected the global economy tremendously, from weakened consumer and investor confidence on the demand side to disrupted supply chains and travel curbs on the supply side. These effects have also resulted in roadblocks for startups all around the world. Singapore is not spared from these far-reaching impacts. In response, the Singapore government has dedicated a huge amount of resources this year to support businesses in these tough times. Besides these government efforts, I'm most heartened to see that there have been many ground-up initiatives in Singapore led by members of the startup community such as VCs and accelerators. From putting together dedicated resource websites to providing mentorships, the startup community in Singapore has shown unity and resilience during this period. Startups play an increasingly important role in this global economic transformation, not only as drivers of innovation, but also as creators of meaningful employment. To further such causes, Antler has demonstrated its commitment to developing prospects out of adversity, pledging up to $500,000 in a global call for COVID-19 related solutions. Some of Antler's portfolio startups have pivoted to address these innovation calls. For instance, digital recruiting platform Sama has turned its solution around to help companies cross-deploy migrant workers on a short-term basis to accommodate volatility in manpower demand. I have high hopes that startups who adapt quickly have the upper hand in leveraging growth opportunities to tackle the current crisis. Recognizing the pivotal role that startups play in innovation, we will reinforce our support for them. As the economy transits to a new normal, Enterprise Singapore is committed to support our partners like Antler to sustain a vibrant and conducive ecosystem throughout this crisis. A key event that adds vibrancy to our ecosystem every year is the Singapore FinTech Festival and Singapore Week of Innovation and Technology. We call it SFF X-Switch. For the first time, this will be held virtually alongside with our global startup competition, Slingshot. This year, Slingshot features two new elements. The first is a COVID-19 track dubbed the New Normal. And the second is the Corporate Innovation Platform, where the top 500 startups can pitch to corporates for potential partnership opportunities. The call for Slingshot applications ends 24th August this year. I would like to invite all startups to participate in both SFF X-Switch and Slingshot to showcase your innovation to the world. Let me conclude by once again congratulating this cohort for coming so far in this unprecedented global situation. In the iconic words of Winston Churchill after World War II, never let a good crisis go to waste. The rules of the global economy are being rewritten, and the rise of new challenges has been set into motion. With that, I would like to encourage all of you to take advantage of the situation and stay positive. Thank you very much, and all the very best to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Today we have 15 startups presenting here, and you, the audience, have a unique opportunity to get involved with them early. You can support them by becoming an early customer or introducing them to early customers. You can consider investment in their funding round, or maybe you're a domain expert and would be a great mentor to the team, or you simply want to give them some early feedback. You're able to get in touch with each team by clicking the Get in Touch button on the team information module below. And you can also ask questions while the companies are pitching in the Slido box on the right-hand side of the screen. But now it's time to go to the next team, and we will kick it off with our first team, Vickery. Sri, the stage is yours.
Those of you engaging large organizations and multiple partners in B2B sales will certainly identify with the pain point our next team is solving. Sri and Madhu have a collective of 40 years of experience in enterprise software sales, which is exactly what led them to build Vickery, the enterprise SaaS platform helping technology companies sell together and execute as one with their partners. Over to you, Sri.
Sapiens, We are the only animal on the planet who can cooperate with flexibility in large numbers. In other words, to survive and to succeed, we partner. In business, the rules are no different. Partnerships never go out of style. And with all the disruptions that are happening, tech companies are pushing partnerships beyond their usual limits. So how do we manage complex ongoing interactions? How do we foster trust in them? Well, I worked in tech companies for a long time managing partners, and I can tell you what we use. We use email and spreadsheets. These tools are not suitable for complex ecosystems. They result in a lot of manual work, murky database lines, and not so much trust between all the stakeholders. All in all, not a very comfortable partnership. Our solution is Vickrey. We are a single pane of data for all partners in an ecosystem. We have 3 modules: Opportunize, to plan and manage pipeline with partners; Incentivize, to run joint partner incentives; and Info Exchange, an any-to-any secure data exchange. All of this is delivered in a cloud-based SaaS application with very high levels of trust and attribution. Opportunize is our first module. It's out in beta, and it helps customers create and track joint plans in real time. We can share opportunities from your CRM and track joint pipeline. Companies can have a very accurate view of the partnership health at any point of time. The global market size for Vickrey is very huge. The total addressable market focused on tech companies is 1.25 billion. Now, this 1.25 billion last year helped deliver 80 billion that tech companies spent on their partners, which in turn drove 2.1 trillion of global IT sales. All in all, a big market having an even bigger business impact. We offer our customers an annual SaaS subscription and are using a modular approach to land and expand in customers. Our focus right now is mid-sized technology companies, and we are selling to alliances leaders with a diverse partner mix. We started in April 2020 with Antler's pre-seed funding and set ourselves a target of 3 customers before demo day. I'm happy to say we achieved this target last month. We have 3 customers with subscriptions, and the revenue from these will start in October this year after the pilot period. Our immediate focus is to reach 10 customers before July 2021. And to do this, we are raising funds, which will go towards accelerating product development, hiring a product manager, and enhancing our sales efforts. We are very confident of reaching our projection of 360 customers and more than 50 million in revenue by year 5. We're a virtual team spread across Bangalore, Singapore, and the US, and we've known each other for 15 years. Each of us brings to the table 20 years of experience selling technology, managing global partner ecosystems, and running operations. Successful partnerships don't just happen. They need trust, accountability, and transparency. We offer all 3 and help our customers and their partners grow and succeed. If you are an investor looking to tap into this large opportunity, please reach out to us. We are raising capital. I'm Srihari. We are Team Vickrey, and thank you very much.
Sri, how was that? Amazing. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'll start with one prepped question here because we're having the audience questions come in. But like people often talk about team market fit, team problem fit. And you know, when I look at you guys as a team, you seem pretty exceptional in that regard. But why are you the right team to build this?
Well, thank you for that. Well, my co-founders and I, we've been doing this partnering and selling with partners for most of our working lives. We've been on all sides of the equation. We've been partners, we've been vendors, we've been services companies, and we know what it takes to create a successful partnership. And in 20 years, we've seen ecosystems change. They've grown, they've diversified, and they've become central to creating customer value. So we are essentially bringing our expertise in solving problems with technology and our domain knowledge of partnering together to create Vickrey.
Fantastic. So you've seen the journey and how the market has evolved over the last 20 years. Why is now the right time to build this?
Well, great question. 3 main reasons. Partners, their roles have trifurcated. They play a role not just during the sale, but they play a role before and after as well. And today, customers are happy to engage multiple partners to get maximum value for themselves. So multi-partner situations, partner-to-partner engagements are a norm. We have to have a way to orchestrate them. And lastly, customer experience has taken center stage, and partners are closest to customers. We need to be able to unlock value from partners on that. And we built Vickrey to solve all 3 problems.
Right. And you believe digitization is the key. It's no longer the wine and dine days, which I guess is good for everyone's health, right?
Well,
Or only wine and dine.
Well,
yes.
wine and dine will continue because
Right.
people partner with people, right? But what we are saying is with technology, you can bring in a little more trust and a lot more simplification on the data front.
Understood. And let's take the first audience question. This is from our great friend Johnson. Thanks, Johnson, for the question. So how is this product different from those on the market right now?
See, most existing systems for partners tend to be hub and spoke models, which is usually for onboarding. It works great for knowing certifications and so on. It's not two-way conversations. We built Vickrey to deal with an ecosystem, a network system, where no one player is the, it's not centralized. It's far more decentralized in our product. And the information flow works in all parts of the network. It can be one-to-one, it can be one-to-many, and partner-to-partner. That's
Brilliant.
why we are quite different from the existing systems.
Brilliant. Can't wait to see what the future holds for you guys. Keep the questions coming, folks. Now it's time to move to the next team, Approved.
We all know examples of companies who were fined millions of dollars because they did not protect their data properly. Our next team is Approved, and they aspire to become the standard in data protection and cybersecurity. James, a data privacy lawyer, and Adam, a serial entrepreneur, are the right team to help their customers assess and onboard technology vendors in a quick, safe, and cost-effective manner. James is here to tell us how.
Hi, I'm James, co-founder and CEO of Approved. The world has gone digital, and companies large and small need to work with each other with data. Did you know that companies may be fined millions of dollars if they don't protect data properly? So how are companies ensuring that the vendors and partners that they work with are digitally secure and protecting data? I'm a data privacy lawyer, so I've seen this problem firsthand. In practice, it takes weeks or months just to check and onboard your vendors because there's just no uniform standard. We've conducted over 100 customer interviews, and we've found out that 90% of these customers still use traditional, time-consuming methods like emails and Excel spreadsheets to solve this problem. Surely, there must be a better way. Which is why we have designed Approved. We've spent the last 3 months building a functional MVP to do just that. In fact, Approved is a solution that I wish existed when I was legal counsel, but it didn't. So we've decided to build it ourselves. Now anyone can just click, log in, check and assess your vendors using checklists and assessments designed by lawyers, get them approved by your boss, data protection officers, and legal to monitor them for use. We charge the buyer for the service, so now anyone can check and assess their vendors in days, not weeks and months. Vendors use this service for free to show their buyers that they comply with data protection laws. In this way, we want to create a network of buyers and vendors who trust each other with data. We are starting with the Singapore market, where every Singapore company needs a data protection officer, before moving on to Australia and New Zealand, my co-founder's home market. This market is expected to grow at 25% CAGR in the next 5 years to reach $10.2 billion by the end of 2025. We provide a SaaS subscription model, providing efficiency and expertise at a fraction of a headcount cost. We're the right team to execute this vision. Before starting Approved, I was at Facebook, Alibaba, and SAP, helping them with their data protection and legal matters. My COO, Adam, is a serial entrepreneur, having scaled and sold 2 companies before this. Our CPO, Graham, has built, developed, and managed products across Asia Pacific. Within the last 4 months, we've secured 4 enterprise multinational companies for our closed beta, with many more in the pipeline. Customers are excited to use Approved to check hundreds and even thousands of vendors. Our ask today is funding for 12 months runway to achieve our goals, and introductions to data protection officers and companies who can benefit from our service. With funding, we intend to scale across geographies to build this trusted network of vendors and buyers across the world to reach our target annual revenue of $10 million by 2025. Our vision is to be the standard in data protection, cybersecurity, and responsible AI use. So if you're a strategic investor, or if you can benefit from our product, come talk to us today.
James, that was amazing.
Thank you.
You know, what you're trying to do is fantastic. So let's just go through, how does Approve actually help make the whole vendor onboarding process seamless and different? Because currently things seem quite cumbersome.
Yeah, you said it's cumbersome, right? Let's take a step back. It's cumbersome because different companies check it differently, and different countries have different data protection laws, right? So what Approve wants to do is to bring the best in-class standards and best practices and put it in the hands of our customers, and to allow them to do this in a scalable, quicker way. We believe, right, that the player that is able to do that in a meaningful way will win the market.
Nice. And how are you different from your competition and what's already out there?
In terms of competition, right, of course, there are vendor softwares out there, vendor risk management software, but our real competition is inertia. Companies not doing anything or using emails and spreadsheets to solve this problem. We want to provide a 10 times better solution to customers, and once they've found out that there's a quicker, easier way to do this, it's hard for them to turn back.
And we have a question from Abhay, and he's saying, can I use your services to verify small vendors?
Yes, definitely. This service can be used to verify large or small vendors, right? And we want to standardize these checks across companies.
And we have one question talking about the why. Why are you building Approved? Do you think companies should be setting the standard for data protection?
Data protection is set by law, by governments, yes. But that's the minimum standards that companies need to meet. Right? We believe that companies are in a position to decide for themselves what sort of protections that they deserve and what sort of standards that they want to see from their vendors and partners. So Approve wants to be there to stand in the gap to help them do just that, for new tech, especially like 5G, IoT, and responsible AI use.
Nice. Thank you so much, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Keep the questions coming. On the box on the right of the screen on Slido, you need to fill in a short registration form before inserting your questions, but keep them coming. Thank you.
Food security has become an even more critical global issue amidst the current pandemic. Our next team, Chloropy, uses drones and deep learning algorithms to help pesticide companies and farmers improve crop yield. Gajendra has close to 20 years of R&D experience in large agriculture companies. Approve is a computer vision expert. They are the definition of what investors like to call team market fit. Presenting Chloropy.
Hey, I'm Gajendra and co-founder of Chloropy, a SaaS platform for AI-powered crop monitoring. Diverse crop varieties are grown in millions of acres every year. You'll be surprised to know that about 40% of these crops are damaged by pests and diseases. Agrochemical companies are solving this huge challenge by innovating new crop varieties and effective chemicals. I was one of them, working as a researcher for several years. It takes almost 10 years to launch a new product in the market. This development relies heavily on data coming from hundreds of research firms. It's collected manually, often traveling to remote locations. In spite of this hard work, it's frustrating that the information collected is not reliable. Without right information, decision making gets really tough. So, manual data collection is inefficient, expensive, and prone to error. We are here to transform this. At Chloropy, we digitize this whole process of crop monitoring using the off-the-shelf drones and deep learning algorithms. How it works is simple. We get the location and schedule from our research clients. We fly drones and get high-resolution images. Powerful algorithms turn them into precise plant-level insights. Researchers then view these insights on our SaaS platform and make smarter decisions. Not only that, we deliver it 100 times faster and at half the current cost. Each agrochemical company spends around $5 million in data collection each year. We are demonstrating our technology to 5 major agrochemical companies. We have also deployed our MVP with 2 of our test customers. Our initial target is the top 30 agrochemical companies in India and Southeast Asia. Our SaaS platform can be accessed through an annual subscription, and the pricing is based on the area covered. But we don't stop here. Each of these companies sell their products to around 1 million farmers. Working with the corporates opens the doorway to about 200 million farmers in this region. This is a massive $34 billion market opportunity for monitoring crops damaged by pests and diseases. In the next 5 years, we have a target of $50 million revenue with 70% gross profit margin. We have a perfect team to make this happen. With 16 years of industry experience, I know exactly what are the pain points and data requirements of the customers. My co-founder, Apur, is an expert in computer vision and drones. He has built similar solutions for domains like defense and construction. Together, we have a vision for a safer food grown sustainably. We aim to raise $600,000 to accelerate our product development. Our goal is to onboard 12 new customers and achieve $1.6 million revenue in 2022. If you are a strategic investor to make a positive impact on the environment, please join us. Or you're welcome if you can introduce us to companies who could be interested in using our technology. Thank you.
Congratulations on that fantastic pitch, Gajendra.
Thank you.
You know, it really sounds like you and Apur have the perfect team market fit and the capabilities to build this business in the region and globally. And hi to the audience. My name is Rufus Sorsa. I'm the program manager at Antler. And I just wanted to remind you that you can get in touch with all the companies here today by filling out the contact request form under your screen. So, we have some questions coming in. Exciting. The first one is from Vikas. So, what's the biggest challenge that you're facing at this moment in time?
Yes, so we started this company before this COVID, but now with this COVID situation, one thing was like we could not go to the fields directly, and that kind of changed our strategy now. So we are trying to do everything remote. So we are, some of the things that we wanted to do after 2 years, we have strategically changed now to do it now. For example, we are engaging the remote the drone partners remotely, and which we wanted to do it later on, but yeah, because of the situation we have to adjust to that, so we changed that.
Great. It really sounds like you've been able to be nimble even
Yep.
in the current environment.
Yep.
So then we have some more questions coming in. We have KS asking, a bit about who your customers and what's your traction so far with them.
Oh, great. So our customers are the agrochemical companies which are producing and selling pesticides, seeds, and chemicals. So these companies do a lot of research before bringing the product to the market. They do like hundreds of experiments before they launch their product. So using our SaaS platform, what they can do is they can collect precise data and make smarter decisions. So what it means for them as a customer is that they can compress that product development timelines significantly and also save 50% of their cost, which is huge. So yeah, that's a value prop that we are providing for our customers.
No, it really sounds great, and you're definitely bringing value to your existing customers, and I'm sure there are a lot of partners online that would want to work with you moving forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Before COVID, I loved to go to pop-up events. It is extremely fun to browse through booths, talk to the indie designers and brand owners, and of course shop for the best deals. Our next team, Predapop, has built a solution to enable event organizers to continue to engage brands and consumers by bringing their retail events online. Over to Dani to tell us more.
Hello everyone, I'm Dani, co-founder of Predapop. We enable online retail events. The world is moving to a new normal, and many businesses are looking at a permanent digital shift. A big category is the retail events industry. Before COVID-19, there were more than 100,000 retail events in APAC each year, including pop-ups, workshops, fairs, festivals, etc. They're a great way for businesses to acquire and engage customers through cross-marketing and personal interactions. However, they're very costly to run. There is a high upfront cost just to set up and an even higher opportunity cost due to the customers who could not make to the events. Since COVID-19, tens of thousands of events have been cancelled. Well, we are here to help. Introducing Predapop, a SaaS platform that enables anyone to launch retail events online. With Predapop, anyone can set up a retail event as quickly as one day, with 1/10 of the cost, reaching many more times the traffic. On the platform, an event organizer creates an online event space and invites multiple brands to join and create their own virtual booth. During the event, the brands come together to cross-market and engage with their consumers through live streaming and live chat, or on our platform. We piloted 3 beta events on the platform, and across the 3 events, we achieved a total GMV of $18,000, attracting more than 6,000 event attendees. Additionally, we attracted the attention of many established event organizers, including Suntec, which is one of the biggest event organizers in Singapore. We're currently discussing with them to enable their Q4 events on our platform. If we could onboard all of these event organizers that are interested, we're already looking at a total sale of more than $10 million. Predapop is the first retail events platform in the market, and this market has a potential sale of a total of $55 billion from retail events globally. We target the APAC market excluding China with a potential of $5.2 billion and a growth rate of 25%. Our pricing model includes an upfront fee per booth, and we take a commission off of all the sales on the platform. We are the perfect team to build this, with Anna, an established retail event organizer, having launched pop-ups for more than 100 brands. Eric, a seasoned technopreneur with 15 years of experiences building digital solutions. I'm a former consultant, having launched and scaled multiple SaaS solutions. In the future, we want to enable many more different kinds of events on the platform and establish an online events ecosystem. To help us grow fast and really capture the massive demand in this market, we seek investment to accelerate the product and business development. We want to do our official launch in September this year, and from there, onboarding 250 event organizers, enabling 17,000 booths across 1,000 events on our platform. And that translates to more than $1 million of revenue for us by September 2021. Additionally, we would love for you to launch your next multi-booth event online with us. We're at PretPop, and our team is super excited to go forward with this journey, and we invite you all to join us. Thank you very much.
Danny, that was amazing. And I'm so excited about this product because the past few months, as you know, I mean, we've all been shopping online so much more. Before we dive into the questions, I just want to address the audience. Keep them coming, but we will not be able to answer all the questions due to time constraints, and we will then connect with you and answer the questions after demo day. So the first question we have now is, how do you digitize the offline experience and make it so interactive?
So a big part of the offline retail experience is the personal interaction between the shoppers and the brand owners. So on PretPop, what we allow the brands to do is they set up their own virtual booth, but when they set up, they can select components to engage with the customers. So we have things like live streaming, live chat, product workshops, one-on-one booth appointments, etc. But if you look at the other side of it, when we're moving things online, we really open up like possibilities of experiences that were not possible offline. So some of the things we're exploring are, showing the product that's trending on social media, showing people what their friends are buying, as well as doing online Instagram competitions, etc. Yeah.
And you mentioned that you've managed to acquire customers, and how did you do that during this lockdown period, given, it's a pretty personal business what you're doing?
Yeah. So the interesting part about business is we run online events. So one of the main customer acquisition channel for us so far is actually through the pilot events. So actually a lot of the organic inquiries came from organizers who came to our events.
Okay.
So they went there and online and then checked it out and they liked it, so they contacted us and said they were interested. Another thing that we are putting together is we have a list of event organizers that we think would be really great early adopters for the system, like the bigger ones. So we're currently reaching out to them and discussing their events.
Nice. And here's a question, is it beneficial in terms for brands to do this online to get more traffic?
Yes, absolutely. Actually, if we look at our previous pilot events data, with very little marketing spend, we are already attracted 3x traffic compared to the offline retail events of the same size. So just imagine what you can do with the same marketing budget as your previous events.
Okay.
But additionally, so when we talked to all the brands who participate in our previous events, and most of them said it's actually much better ROI for them because it's less costly, it's much cheaper, easier to do. And also they are actually seeing more than 50% of new customers and very good sales. So a lot of them said, okay, we will do this much more frequently now that we could do it with PretPop.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, I just want to mention something else here, which was very interesting because all the brands and event organizers, one of the key things that they see as a value is the data analytics. Because now that they can actually see real time how people are responding to the event, and then they can actually do marketing and operations tactics during the event to actually attract more attention. Yeah.
I have one final question from Jeffrey, and he says, how would you compete with existing platforms like Facebook and Instagram Live?
Yes, great question. So currently we have two tracks, right? We have the one big track with strategic big event organizers, like Suntech, which I mentioned. So for them, they would need a more a more Suntech specific branding. So what we could do for them is we will offer white label specific solutions for them. And then on the other side, we have the smaller event organizers who are aspiring ones, who then we provide templates for them to actually run the events. And because my co-founder Anna, she's an experienced event organizer, so she knows what is the best to actually enable them to do this experiences online.
That's great. All the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
One of the unique things about Antler is the global nature of our platform. Over the last 2 years, we've built 12 locations on 6 continents. And if a company joins or is built out of a program in one location and wants to build in another location, we'll of course do our best to support them. The next company is a great example of this. Team Zopnik originally joined our Amsterdam program, but their main market is India, where they plan on reinventing the social selling scene. Krits will now tell us more.
Hi, I'm Krits. I'm the co-founder of Zopnik. So let me first introduce ourselves. My partner Sukhmani brings a strong experience in community building. Until recently, she ran her own startup called Better Butter, which she sold it off to a Singapore-based ad tech company. Within just a span of 4 years, she built a strong community of 3 million users. And before that, she also has a background in consulting and marketing. As for me, I bring 15 years of experience in offline and online retail, including last 8 years with Jabong, where I was a founding member. I built 3 key business verticals from scratch and scaled it to over $100 million business. So together, we bring synergies from both community and business building side. So let me set the context here. COVID-19 pandemic has led to a justified fear of public places. Consumers today are afraid to visit the shopping malls and the high street stores, and they have started looking for alternative channels to fulfill their shopping needs. Although we believe that online shopping is fulfilling a part of this need, but it also brings with it its own set of problems like lack of touch and feel, they have issues with fit, leading to a lot of distrust among the consumers. We have also seen a new shopping behavior among the consumers that have emerged in recent times. They have started looking for channels like social selling platforms, including WhatsApp, Facebook, and Instagram, and also started attending live streaming event to fulfill these needs. So we have devised a solution which we are calling it Retail 3.0, combining these benefits of offline shopping with an asset-light online model. Here we are introducing a persona called Super Stylist. You can imagine Super Stylist is somebody who is a social influencer or a community leader in a particular neighborhood, and she represents Zopnik, solving both these problems of offline and online shopping for an end consumer. So we believe that data science is the heart of our business. So once we acquire a super stylist, we capture her persona and then we try to match those personas to the attributes of her products that she likes through an advanced matching algorithm. So how does it work? Once we match the products or a brand to the super stylist, we give away a small set of samples to the super stylist. She in turn builds a community of hosts. You can imagine host is somebody who is a homemaker, who is willing to do a small tea party at home, willing to conduct a live streaming event, sitting in the comfort of their own place, and also willing to sell socially through their social media channels. So on the basis of sales that they generate, Zopnik fulfills those orders to our delivery partner, and in return, host as well as the super stylist earns a commission out of it. And we believe that this particular market is really huge. Overall fashion and lifestyle market is close to $100 billion. Zopnik's customer profiles are the women in the ages of 25 years and above, residing in the urban areas with an average household income of $3,000. And this particular market is close to $20 billion. And we aim to capture at least a minimum of 2.5% of this market, converts to almost $500 million in the next 4 to 5 years' time. Our business model is very simple. On every event, on every transaction that we do, we earn 20% commission after giving away 20% commission to the host and the super stylist, which means an average sales of $100 per event, we earn $20 net profit. So far, it's just been 20 days of our operation. We have already onboarded 25 super stylists with an average acquisition cost of $3, generating a sales of $100 per super stylist with an ASP of $13. So in next 12 months time, we plan to acquire a minimum of 250 super stylists, generating a sales of $700,000 across 4 cities that we have identified so far. And to do that, we are looking at raising $2 million funds, which will take care of 18 months of our runway that will be used to build our team, build our product, and also take care of our marketing and operational expenses. So we look forward to discussing this further with you. Thank you.
If you're watching this demo day, it is very likely you have some basic financial literacy and skills. but there are hundreds of millions of people who do not, falling victims to predatory lending practices. Eugene and Mark are repeat entrepreneurs who met at the Antler cohort and set out to solve this problem by building Impala, allowing employees to draw down the salary they have earned on demand. Eugene, over to you.
Hey there, my name is Eugene and I'm here going to tell you my story. Over the past 3 years, I have been living in Vietnam. One of my close friends there ran into a problem. Last year, he got fined $300 and he had no money to pay for it. So he went to a bank which offered him 15 times more than he actually needed. The bank's money gave him comfort, but with a lack of financial knowledge and budgeting skills, he will not be able to repay the bank's advance. And he is not alone. That's 340 million, or 75% of the working population in Southeast Asia that don't have basic financial knowledge required to budget and manage finances. Unfortunately, an entire financial industry is taking advantage of that. Banks, payday lenders, consumer finance companies are intentionally issuing larger loans and charging ridiculously high interest rates, as well as ignoring such things as financial literacy of their clients. This has to be stopped. And Impala is here to help. Impala is a service that allows employees access to their earned wages whenever they need it. And not just that, Impala also let employees track their earnings in real time and provide advice on how to manage their money and avoid the debt traps. Impala works with the companies that employ unskilled labor across Southeast Asia. Companies that use Impala benefit from improved turnover, productivity, as well as save up to $79,000 a year on hiring budgets for every 100 employees in their headcount. Our business model is not a new one, and there are players all over the globe. Local competitors like Advanced Philippines, Nano Fintech, are doing a good job by providing salary financing, but essentially they're just a cheaper payday loan alternatives. Impala is the only solution out there that fundamentally tries to solve financial literacy problem and educate workers in Southeast Asia. This is a huge market opportunity. As we start in Impala with salary financing, we are looking into a $23 billion digital lending market. As we scale Impala to support workers further down the finance line, we are looking into $11 billion digital remittance and $600 billion digital payment market. Impala operates by charging a fee of 3 to 5% per early salary access. For a typical worker living in Vietnam, it's more than 10 times saving compared to existing consumer finance alternatives. Over the past few months, we were having discussions with the largest logistics, retail, manufacturing companies in Singapore and Vietnam, and received pretty good feedback from them. And just a few days ago, I had a conversation with the Panasonic factory in Vietnam, who turns out pay their workers 45 days once they finish work. They're excited about our solution, and we see this as a huge potential once we launch in Vietnam. I am a product guy and previously worked in payments and fintech, as well as co-founded conversational AI startup that built chatbots for mobile phone giants like Oppo. I met my co-founder Mark here at Antler, and 19 weeks ago, we started our journey amidst the pandemic. Mark is an experienced tech leader and previously a co-founder of Reboot AI. And today, I would like to announce that we're launching our platform to the public in August this year. And if you're an employer or an investor focusing on blue-collar or gig economy workers in Singapore and the rest of Asia, come and talk to us. We'd be happy to help you improve well-being and financial literacy for your employees or explore any investment opportunities. Talk to us today. Thank you.
Eugene, congrats. That was really great. And I love that your mission is to fight financial illiteracy. Here we have the first question, which is about business models. Why are you working in a B2B2C rather than a B2C approach, given it's so consumer-centric?
Yeah. So essentially, it sounds like the business is very catered towards consumers. But when you look into Southeast Asia, and one of the things you see that there's a lack of proper credit scoring. So we decided to work with employers because here we can basically mitigate credit risk by working directly with employers. We connect and we know which employees worked, how many days they worked, and so on and so forth. A couple of more benefits here is by connecting employer, we can get not just one customer, but thousands of them at the same time, which simplifies the whole process. And lastly, what's also very important here is that our product gives a lot of benefits to employers as well, as we mentioned in the pitch. Hence, employers becoming ambassadors of our solution. That's why it's easier to drive the whole adoption here. So that's why we kind of think it's the best approach here.
And given this is a pretty capital-intensive model, how do you plan on funding these early drawdowns of salary?
Right, this is a good question. So at the beginning, we were really lucky to find a couple of partners that will support us with the short-term credit lines. So individually, each employer we connect, we're gonna launch a credit line for them, which we're gonna use to draw down these funds. And in the long run, once we're gonna be approaching seed round, as we're gonna look to acquire as well big debt financing round. So we're gonna balance both debt and equity round financing for the working capital.
Got it. And we have a question from Johnson, basically saying, how do you differentiate from peers, from competition?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So if we compare the similar models, like I mentioned before, like Uploan and Advanced Philippines, these guys are actually doing a good job. Well, they provide salary financing, but what they don't cover yet is that they don't cover the financial literacy aspect, which we believe is the biggest one, because salary financing solves the problem in the short run. But in the long run, actually, the whole financial literacy game is very important to educate people, to let them save, and to let them budget in the future. That's
Great.
what we're trying to find.
Thank you so much, and good luck.
Thank you.
And don't forget to keep putting those questions in. And if you're interested in getting in touch with any of the startups that you see, please go below the screen and register your interest, and you can get involved in various ways. Thank you. Next up, we have Antler's founder and CEO, Magnus Grimland, to give you a quick overview of what's been happening with Antler globally. Over to you, Magnus.
Hi all, welcome again to the Singapore Demo Day. Very excited to be here with you, and thank you so much for tuning in. Since we last spoke, Antler has continued our expansion globally. We are about to launch and set up in China. We launched in India, South America. We're expanding our presence in the US. We really want to support the world's most exceptional people in the most innovative hubs all across the globe. First, want to make a call out to all of these exceptional entrepreneurs that we're working with. You saw some tremendous pitches already, and you'll see some amazing ones going forward. These companies are young, they're 2 months young, and they're really kind of built by incredible entrepreneurs that are top 1% selected out of more than 50,000 people applying from all across the globe every year to be part of the Antler ecosystem. So very, very excited about them. I also want to thank all of you, the investors, the advisors. I know a lot of you are listening in and watching this right now, and a lot of you will be supporting these portfolio companies going forward. We couldn't have done what we're doing without you. And that brings me to the kind of standard social contract that we do during these demo days. If every one of you watching this could do at least one thing for at least one of these portfolio companies, helping them with a customer, with an investor, helping them with a potential employee, really anything, we will be a tremendous force that can really help these companies become the next unicorns out of Singapore. So incredibly excited about that. The other thing that has happened over the last year is that we're continuing to work with a very diverse set of founders. We really want to support people from all types of ethnicities, from all types of countries. We currently supported entrepreneurs from more than 71 locations. We also want to work with a very diverse set of founders from a gender perspective. We currently have 40% of our portfolio companies with a female co-founder, and more than 80% of those have a female CEO. So really, we are working with the very, very best of the global talent pool and a very diverse set of founders, which is more important than ever. And these people will build the future. In terms of the current situation, I think what we were doing was incredibly important in December, but it's even more important now. We're living through the most unprecedented times of our generation. Now we have an obligation to succeed. The exceptional people that we are working with will be the people who create the future value, the future work opportunities. And by them kind of building and solving those new problems, we can really be part of the path to recovery, and very, very excited about them doing that, whether it's solving problems related to healthcare, education, way of working, supply chain, logistic, whatever it is. Diamonds are formed under intense pressure, and we are here to work with the very best, most exceptional individuals to really create the future. And we couldn't have done that with all of your support and your help. So thank you again for tuning in, and excited to continue sharing more from the Antler journey. Thank you.
How many of you have procrastinated on submitting your monthly expense claims and have been relentlessly chased by your finance team to do so? I know I have. VoloPay wants to improve the way businesses and employees spend by completely changing their financial tech stack. Over to Rajiv to show us how.
Hello everyone, we are VoloPay. We simplify business spending for SMEs. We are also part of Y Combinator's current batch. Companies are generally good at keeping track of revenues, but horribly bad at making payments and keeping track of it. The biggest problems for business owners is a lack of visibility on spends and high bank charges for FX transactions. As for employees, we all hate filing expense claims. And for finance teams, accounts payable is a nightmare, thanks to approvals, chasing receipts, reconciliation, and so on. These finance guys work on an obsolete tech stack. On one hand, they use the banks for card payments and wire transfers, and on the other, an accounting software of some form. And these both systems invariably do not talk to each other. So we built VoloPay, which is a free software that combines card and bill payments into one single platform. It gives finance teams the right controls to reduce excess spends and eliminate frauds, while also giving real-time visibility into companies' spending. With VoloPay, you can issue corporate debit cards to employees who are traveling for work, entertaining customers, or as their purchasing card. You can issue virtual cards for managing software subscriptions, making online payments, and for digital marketing. Also, you can make payments to any vendors via domestic or cross-border wire transfers with super low FX rates, all within VoloPay. And all these transactions can be reconciled into any major accounting software thanks to seamless integrations. Along with all this, you get to save more than 2.5% on making any foreign currency payments on our cards. Thanks to all that I mentioned, we have had great traction on coming out of closed beta in the month of May. So far, we have onboarded around 32 customers, which includes logos like Lynx Analytics, Tethina, AppNox, SensorFlow, SpeedDoc, and so on. We are also in talks with 24 more companies like Red Doors, Beam, Tukitaki, who are all super keen to get onboarded onto VoloPay. Since going live, companies have so far spent $160,000 on our platform in just a couple of months, and the spends are doubling every month. We have a super simple business model. We earn interchange on card payments and markup on cross-border payments. We are staring at a huge opportunity as SMEs in Southeast Asia alone spend about $420 billion. Out of this, $22 billion is on cards, which is growing rapidly at a rate of 65% every year. The traction we had so far is primarily driven by cold emails, so outbound definitely works, and now we'll be working on inbound marketing next. But to achieve this kind of scale we are looking for, we'll also work on a marketplace and a partner program for accounting firms, SaaS vendors, and others who can help us with distribution. By the way, I'm Rajat, founder and CEO of VoloPay, and I have 12 plus years of product and marketing experience in major fintechs in the region, namely Matchmove, BankBazaar, and MoneySmart. And that is where I met my co-founder and CTO, Rajesh, who has also built scalable payment platforms and robo-advisory tech in the past. Now, we're looking to raise funds to expand into Australia and Indonesia next. We will need the money for local presence and payment licenses in those countries, and also to work on our sales and marketing engine, which will take us to 4 million ARR in just 2 years. Reach out to us for a quick demo of the platform, which will help your companies or VC firms manage spending and save some money. Hope to hear from each of you soon.
Rajit, that was awesome. Congratulations, my man.
Thank you.
Let's get straight to it. The first question is around differentiation. This is a very crowded space, so how are you different in the market?
See, I think the number one competitors for us are obviously the banks.
And that's, by the way, good because banks suck, right?
Definitely, right?
To all of my friends in banks, hi, you can do better.
Yeah, so that's what they use for all their bill and card payments, I would say, almost all the companies. But then there are a lot of startups which are trying to do similar stuff like us. And I would categorize into two things. That is, one is the wannabe neobanks who are trying to target the micro SMEs, I would say. And then a lot of other companies which are in the credit space, which have slapped a card solution on top of it. And I would say both these guys sort of target the micro SME space, and we are trying to target the 25 plus employees. That's when the accounts payable becomes a real problem for companies, and that's the segment that we go after. It's mostly to do with the segment rather than just the software and the competitors. I would say pretty different.
Right. I can actually attest to that. As Antler, we fall into that space, and I'm very actually happy with having used the product so far. And thanks to our CFO Bjarne, if you're listening. Thanks for the support in rolling this out across Antler. It's been fantastic. Let's go to the next question. This is around expansion from my good friend Santosh. Thanks, Santosh. Which countries are you targeting?
So we are targeting Australia next. Is our next thing, because we have the partnerships in place there. So we would be going to Australia with our card and the bill payment solution. After that, we'll be looking at Indonesia. So this is like the next market.
Quite different markets, right?
Quite different for sure. One is but Australia is very similar to Singapore, I would say. In terms of selling and everything, I think we've sort of got a hang of it. So yeah, and pretty different, but we would definitely Indonesia is not very different.
Ambitious.
Thank
I
you.
like it. Something different from Lance. Around regulation, is this regulated under the Payment Services Act, and do you have a license for it?
Yeah, it is regulated under the Payments Act. But what we have done is, we are actually in the process of getting our payment licenses. But in the meantime, what we have done is, we are partnered with the right people. Right? That's one of our biggest differentiation, I would say. Right, we are partnered with the right people, which has enabled us to give the free software and also save a lot of money for them and everything. But that being said, yeah, we are working with the right partners, so we have the licenses in place. Like their licenses, we ride on their license till we get our own license.
Very good. Yeah, very good. Okay, that's all the time we have for questions. Can genuinely recommend this product as a user, so I think many of you can benefit from it. And keep the questions coming, guys. Fantastic.
Who wants to get better at saving and managing money? That's what I thought. Our next team, Monaco, combines behavioral science and game design to help millennials in Asia do exactly that. Derek and Calvin, with deep technical product experience, met at the Antler cohort and developed their vision to build Asia's personal finance super app. Derek will tell us how.
Hello, my name is Derek, co-founder of Monaco, and we're building your personal finance super app. There's been a shift in how we use technology. The rise of super apps like WeChat and Grab have transformed our expectations. People now love and expect an all-in-one experience. But where is our personal finance super app? It doesn't exist because banks are holding on to all of our data, until now, with open banking. Open banking allows third-party service providers like Monaco to access your financial data with your permission. It's revolutionized personal finance in Europe and in the US, giving rise to unicorn startups like Monzo and Plaid. And it shifts the balance of power and puts it back in the hands of users. Our vision is to create the personal finance super app, a marketplace for your money where you can distribute it in a way that fits your lifestyle and your goals. And we couldn't do this 2 years ago because we didn't have open banking. But now is the perfect time. So where do we start? We start with savings, the source of our capital, because without it, you can't access these wonderful financial products. So that's what we're going to do, build a better way to save. And we're going to target millennials like myself. Our generation of millennials has more spending power than the world has ever seen. And in the next 5 years, we'll come to manage 35% of Asia's wealth. But here's the thing, we're bad with our money. 47% of Malaysian millennials have high credit card debt. 50% of Thai millennials are indebted, and it's the #1 source of stress for 63% of Singaporean millennials. So how do we fix this? The answer lies with behavioral science. In a study done by Creighton University, they showed that an emotional savings approach was 3 times more effective than traditional financial education. This is research, but what about in practice? Capital is a startup in the US that uses behavioral science to help their 1.8 million paid users save over $1 billion. And in Europe, Dreams takes a similar approach, and they help their users save, on average, 150 more euro each month. And 65% of their users feel less stressed about money after just 1 month. We're going to take this model and bring it here to Asia. We've done dozens of user research interviews, and they love this idea, going so far as to say, I need this, and I would totally use this. Riding on this momentum, we've piloted our go-to-market strategy, focused on content, community, and influencers, garnering over 400 early access signups. Now, let's take a closer look at the product. We're building an AI-powered personal finance mobile app that's based on behavioral science. At its core, Moneko is an app that helps you set and achieve your savings goals. Users can create positive behavioral habits and associate rules to help them save towards these goals. For example, every time I cycle to work, automatically save $15 towards my down payment. We'll add machine learning to further improve your experience, to analyze your spending and recommend more ways to save, or forecast your future cash flow needs. We'll monetize with a freemium model facilitated with affiliate marketing. And as we add more services to our ecosystem, we'll have even more ways to save. $1 billion market opportunity, it's massive. And as we work our way through a bottoms-up approach, we arrive at an obtainable market of 100 million in annual revenue. We'll start first in Singapore and expand to Hong Kong and Australia, countries that lead the way for open banking in Asia. And as open banking comes online across Southeast Asia, we'll expand to Malaysia, Thailand, and Indonesia. And we're the perfect team to tackle this venture. My co-founder Calvin is a finance and technology expert. He's a former derivatives trader with a CFA before he jumped to the technology side, where he became a VP of engineering at a fintech startup. And for myself, I'm a millennial marketing maestro with 7 years of product marketing and brand management expertise from beloved consumer brands like Xbox, League of Legends, and LinkedIn. Together, we're Team Moneko, and we're excited to invite advisors and investors alike to join us on our journey of building the personal finance super app for Asia. Thanks for your time.
Well done, Derek. Great pitch.
Thank you so much, Rufus.
Super. So we already have tons of questions coming in. Exciting. The first one is from Terence Giang. He's asking if you can share what Moneko's competitive advantages are and really expand on that a bit.
Yeah, of course, and thank you, Terence, for the great question. There's 2 big differentiators that Moneko has. There's first, it's our unique behavioral science approach, and secondly is our position as an independent and unbiased platform. The first piece, really focusing on behavioral science, focusing on positive habits, and a new approach that's focused on the emotional side. Humans, we're emotional creatures. We're rational at times, but we're not robots. So we want to reinvent and reimagine that experience to focus it on helping people to achieve their savings goals through their habits. So our entire approach is different than our competitors. And secondly, being an independent and unbiased platforms. If you look on your phone, you look at all the other apps in the fintech space, whether it's robo-advisors or other banking apps, they're biased to keep you locked into their own ecosystem. They don't want you to move your money away from it. They want to keep as much of your money in their world. But for us, our #1 priority is to help you achieve your financial goals, to live life on your own terms, to find that balance. And that's what makes us different, is because we're here to help the users.
Great. Being a finance app, we'll have some financial questions. Both Ian and Simon are actually asking, how does Moneko actually make money out of your product?
Yeah, certainly. So early on, as we covered in the presentation just a few moments ago, we're focusing on having a freemium business model. In our validation, users are excited. They love the idea of using AI. They love the idea of syncing their banks and being able to get these insights. So out of the users that we interviewed in our testing, more than half of them said they'd be willing to pay. But of course, at the end of the day, we want to help users save up their money so that they can deploy it across these financial products. And we want to evolve from being a freemium product to become a distribution model, to be a player in the financial ecosystem so that as users save up more money, we can point them in the right direction and then drive affiliate revenue through there.
And then last question is from Ravindra. He's asking, how do you work with banks and regulators on the compliance side?
Yeah, absolutely. Being here in Singapore, following the rules is a super duper important thing as well as we scale globally. So for us, we're very keen to make sure we follow the compliance and working with MAS, as well as having good partnerships with banks. We've had conversations with a few of them thus far, and without sharing too much in that space, but there's a lot of collaboration in this space that we're excited to push for, and we want to make sure we follow the rules. So we're very keen about the different Payment Services Acts and all the different regulation in place, and being sure to protect our users' best interests, their data, and to be a good player in this ecosystem.
Well, Derek, it's been fantastic getting to know both you and Calding over the last couple of months, and I wish you all the best.
Thanks so much, Rufus. Appreciate it.
One of the biggest worry one has during these difficult times is losing their jobs. This is amplified many times over for workers in the blue-collar market. Team Work Class has built a fully automated blue-collar hiring platform which delivers up to 50 candidates within the first hour. Their goal is that every job seeker finds a position within a day. Their business has skyrocketed over the last couple of months, and they are about to close their seed round with overwhelming interest from VCs. I will invite Nikita next to tell us how they did it.
Hi everyone, we are Work Class, and we are a social hiring platform for frontline staff. The blue-collar labor market in Southeast Asia is one of the largest untapped opportunities in the region. The market is totally fragmented, and nobody is solving problems of job seekers and employers here. I have worked for more than 10 years with frontline employees, so I know all the challenges that job seekers and employers face when it comes to the job search. There are frontline employees in every vertical. In logistics, you have drivers, warehouse workers, and packers. In retail, it's cashiers. In F&B, it's kitchen porters, waiters. The list simply goes on. And their financial pressure is very high when they leave a job. That's why they have very unique requirements when it comes to the job search. They have to find a new job within a week. They don't want to send emails. They want to chat today. And they prefer a work location near their home. Commuting to the place far away from their home can substantially eat into their salary. And the same goes for the employers. They need to find a new employee ideally today. They don't need the best-in-class candidate. They need somebody who reliably completes his tasks. And they are concerned about the very high no-show rate when it comes to the job interview, which wastes weeks of their time. Current solutions force job seekers to use interfaces they don't understand, to create a CV which they often cannot do, and wait for days to get a response. Employers get tons of irrelevant applications, and in 80% of the cases, they still get ghosted on the on-site interview. We think it's a shame. And with Work Class, everyone finds a job in 24 hours. I know it sounds unbelievable, but the reason why I'm so confident that it's possible, because I already done it in Europe when I was a general manager at Job Today, and I built this platform, so I know how it works. Job Today is a market leader in the UK and Spain. They have 6 million job seekers, 600,000 employers, and they're already raising their Series C. And I'm sure that with the help of my co-founder, Stefan, and his experience in artificial intelligence and machine learning, we can take it even beyond that. We completely re-engineered application process for the job seekers. We made it super simple and put it inside a popular messaging apps. But enough talking. Let me apply for a job in Telegram right now. I picked this position. I just hit Apply Now button. Right now, I just need to input my email address, my phone number, my last position, which was packer, and I was a packer for the last 2 years. I will select my level of education and make my profile visible for the employers. That's it. I literally apply for a job in seconds. And it's also very fast for the employers. On the regular job boards, you usually wait ages to get first candidates. On Work Class, employers on average wait a very, very long 43 minutes to get first 15 candidates. The platform is amazing, it's super fast. And we launched this product 3 months ago, and customers absolutely love it. We already have 20,000 job seekers, and we acquired them at 10 times lower acquisition cost than our competitors. We also onboarded 350 employees in the logistics industry at zero marketing dollar. There was no better time in history to build job board. Current pandemic created a tremendous liquidity on blue-collar labor market. Job seekers lost their jobs and sitting at home looking for another opportunity. Employers lost a big number of their foreign employees, and they will continue to build their workforce once the restriction measures will start to lose up. We are on track to close our seed round of $1 million US. If you have portfolio companies who are interested in strategic partnerships, or you want to participate in our round, please feel free to reach out. Thank you.
Well done, Nikita. That was really interesting to hear about Work Class. You know, the idea behind Work Class, Antler, is a lot about ideation. How did you come up with this during the program?
Yeah, thank you, Pooja. Nice question. Actually, I was working with frontline employees for my entire life. When I was general manager at La Moda, I was managing more than 1,000 frontline workers. And I understand in details what problems they face, and actually I know how to solve them. And later on, when I was a general manager at Job Today, and I built a platform, and I saw firsthand how technology can help these people to solve, to feel more secure about their jobs. And I truly believe that you can make a 10 times better solution if you actually make use of data. So basically, we rely on machine learning, like this is our core. And my co-founder, Stefan, he was a machine learning engineer before machine learning was even a buzzword. And I think it was kind of natural for us just to launch this business. Nice.
And I guess that's, you know, when you find the right co-founder and
yeah,
and the right. And how did you manage to get so many users? I mean, you know, I looked at the number, and to think that you're so new in the market.
Oh yeah, I think maybe the big difference to other job boards is, again, that we are relying on machine learning and bots to do our marketing as well. And we automated pretty much all the marketing efforts there, and it doesn't require too much intervention. Mm-hmm. And you know, even internally we call it driverless job board.
Nice.
Yeah, and I think maybe the other thing is just it was quite easy actually to launch and acquire customers in this region, because actually nobody is solving problems of job seekers and employers here. And I mean, like, we even launched Malaysia just for fun, and it was exactly the same playbook.
Okay. And, you know, speaking of, besides being an autonomous job board, are you going to be more than just that?
Actually, initial idea was just to use job board as a data source for our future to launch other vertical tools. Like, obviously, like, as a marketplace, you're sitting on tons of data, and it's kind of natural to think about like timesheets later on, payroll, contract management, etc. We are building these solutions right now, but we haven't decided yet which one we will launch first.
Well, a long way to go and so much to do. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Nikita.
Thank you.
Earlier this year, Antler launched a COVID-19 initiative, where we invited startups tackling the COVID-19 outbreak to apply for funding. We invited startups to propose solutions in mitigation, medical equipment, remote health, and digital tools. The purpose is to contribute towards the path to recovery from this crisis. And we were overwhelmed by the response, as we received over 1,500 applications from over 100 countries in just a few weeks since announcing the call. I'm very pleased to introduce the first COVID-19 related startup we have added to our portfolio, PBA. PBA is based in the US, and its CEO, John Melnick, will now tell you all about how they plan to make precision medicine possible.
With COVID, we've all become aware of the slow speed and high cost of drug development. It takes over $1 billion to develop a drug, and we are in a pandemic where every day counts. One reason drug development is so slow and expensive is that it's hard to know if you're on the right track. Testing a drug in animals doesn't tell us a lot about how that drug works in humans, and jumping straight to human studies is a safety risk. So you can see there needs to be a way to get predictive data safely. This is what we do at PBA. For pharma and biotech companies who need to test vaccines and treatments for COVID, PBA provides better data faster, using human cells safely. In the last months, we've started working with clients around the world. This is a total addressable market of over 700 companies and research groups, all focused on COVID and fueled by billions of dollars of investment. My name is John, and I'm the founder and CEO of PBA. The company was started a few years ago, and until March of this year, we were developing drugs for rare diseases. In March, we realized our core technology could help with the COVID response, so in just the last few months, we quickly built a business working with pharma and biotech companies. And since then, we've closed contracts worth over $150,000. So how does this work? Well, we take human cells and we grow them using proprietary methods to produce something called an organoid. Organoids are like mini organs. They grow quickly, they're biologically relevant, and we can grow lots of them. And as we've seen, the virus that causes COVID primarily infects the airways. And our expertise happens to be in growing airway organoids. Our ability to do this quickly and efficiently makes us unique. And something else that makes us unique is that we have cells. Because in order to grow organoids, you need cells. That's why we created our own biobank. Right now, we have a little over 1,600 cell samples from over 400 diverse donors. So what this means is that in just a few days, we can take cells from our biobank, grow hundreds of organoids, infect the organoids with the virus, and test vaccines or therapeutics. That's our workflow. And what's important about our work, and what I want you to remember, is that because we're using cells from people, our organoids are unique to those people. They're personalized. So we aren't just testing treatments to see if they work, we're testing them to see if they work in specific demographic or clinical populations, helping ensure that the people who need treatment the most will benefit the most. This is precision medicine, and PBA is a precision medicine company. We're focused both on today's pandemic response, but also on pandemic preparedness for the future and other high-need areas. Beyond pandemics, our technology is applicable to many respiratory and even non-respiratory diseases. So if you're a pharma or biotech company looking to test vaccines or treatments for COVID or other indications, please reach out. If you are an investor who wants to make a difference in the current pandemic or who wants to help prevent future pandemics, we'd love to hear from you too. Our business is growing quickly, and we're fully booked with paid contracts for the next month and a half. So we're raising funds to expand our lab infrastructure. This will allow us to complete more contracts, complete them sooner, and increase our revenues by over 20x. If you'd like to learn more, please reach out. Thank you.
Some people really know how to spoil their pets. In fact, these people treat their furry kids pretty much like their own children. But with so many brands out there, do they really know what is suitable? Team Peugeot helps pet owners compare and connect with the best pet products and services for their fur kids. Next up is Tay, who will tell us how Peugeot is building the biggest community of pet owners globally.
Hi, I'm Tay, and I'm the co-founder of Peugeot. The pets market is booming. Last year, pet owners spent more than $200 billion on their pets alone. And there are more than 50 million new pet owners added to this market every year. With the coronavirus situation and lockdown, pet ownership is skyrocketing. And pet ownership is changing. Nowadays, nobody wants to have kids anymore. Everybody wants pets. With the increasing humanization trend, people are now treating their pets like their children or even better than their children sometimes. This means that they are more discerning on the product and services that they purchase for their pet. They want the best. In fact, 96.7% of pet owners give equal or more priority to their pet's well-being than their own. Imagine that. But there's a problem. There are thousands upon thousands of products, services, insurance, groomers for pet owners to choose from. How do they even start? They don't know what's good and what's bad. They don't know which pet insurance is good for older dogs. They don't know which restaurant near them is big dog friendly. They don't know which groomers are good for big breeds. They don't know. In fact, it is really difficult to know the best product and service for their pets. Pet owners actually waste more than $21 billion purchasing the wrong or inappropriate product and services for their pet, and waste more than 13 billion hours searching for relevant information online for their pet every year. We aim to change that. Introducing Peugeot, the Yelp for pet owners. We help pet parents discover and purchase the best product and services for their pet. We do this by providing a seamless platform where pet owners can compare and contrast product and services in their category, read reviews by pet owners for pet owners, while reading deep insights on every product and services so that everyone can make a smarter purchase decision, all in under 1 minute. Our business model runs on 3 tiers of revenue. We take an affiliate commission for every transaction done through us. We take advertising fees, and we take a platform fee for every service onboarded through us. Since our inception this year, we already have thousands of users' interaction on our platform. We have generated more than $130,000 in revenue. We have facilitated more than 2,700 reviews, and pet owners have already transacted, purchased, or booked more than 700 through our platform from across 3,700 users. We are working or have worked with more than 100 brands from across 7 countries and are partners with some of the biggest MNCs out there right now. Our team is a versatile team of 3 with more than 15 years experience in tech, marketing, and finance. My co-founders are Jane and Nalvin, who is the CMO and CTO respectively, who have working experience with some of the most reputable companies out there. And our team member is Milky, who is our most important person, our Vice President Customer Service, and the whole reason why we started this company for. We're raising $1 million to expand on 3 key pillars of spending. We're accelerating our tech build-out to build a more robust platform. We're expanding into different key cities and expand our service offerings, and also spending on user generation so that we can achieve more than 200,000 users, transacting more than 100,000, generating a revenue of more than 3 million ARR in the next 2 years. Our vision is to help every pet parent make smarter and better purchases through one effortless platform. So join us to reimagine convenient pet ownership today. Thank you.
Tay, congratulations on that fantastic pitch.
Thank you.
I'm blown away by the sheer amount of traction and user engagement that you and the team have managed to get in a very short amount of time. and even more so during the COVID pandemic and the lockdown here in Singapore. Well done.
Thank you so much. Actually, the lockdown and the COVID pandemic has actually helped drive users for pet owners online. And with pet industry being one of the most pandemic or economic recession resilient industries, this actually proved a huge opportunity for us.
Right, no, that's super to hear actually. So, you know, what's next for this growing pet industry and what's next for Pajur?
For us, we see that the pet industry is really changing, not only for the global, also for the Southeast Asian market. So globally, more and more pet owners are treating their pets as their kids, and the Southeast Asia market is actually following that trend. So what we plan to do is really expand our platform into other service offerings, such as pet insurances and also pet-friendly restaurants, and also to expand into other markets from Singapore. One of the key markets that we are looking at is actually Australia, where there's a very similar pet spending and pet user behavior in Singapore and US.
And now we have actually the first question from the audience. So the first one is from Saurabh. He's asking that in how many years are you targeting becoming profitable, and how many pet owners are you targeting to reach at that point?
We're actually profitable now because we have a very little user acquisition cost. In fact, the whole traction that you see, it only costs us $1,000 in marketing costs. So we are really profitable. For us, we want to aim to reach all the pet owners around the world to use our platform to be the one-stop platform for pet owners to search for any information, any products, any services online. We plan to do that within the 5 to 10 years mark, but definitely kicking it into the Western market first, such as Australia and US, where pet ownership spending is the highest.
And actually that ties into the last question, which is also from the audience, from Kent. How do you attract customers if you spend so little? And you know, what are your competitors? Are they pet forums or like e-commerce stores?
Not e-commerce. Actually, we aggregate the prices and the services from other e-commerce onto our platform so they can see where you can purchase the pet product for the cheapest or the best price. Some of our competitors include like other review sites, most of which for the pet product is very, very old, not optimized for the modern age. Most of them are built in the year 2000s. So what we plan to do is to combine all this analog data into a user-friendly platform where every pet owner can find the best product for their pets.
Well, you know, I'm sure that with the help of Milky, you'll be able to reach all your goals, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Rufus.
Our smartphones are probably the most used and touched devices we own. These days, we not only use our phones for communication and work, we also spend a huge amount of time playing games on them. Our next team, Skibber, enables casual gamers like you and me to compete and win prizes with more than 100,000 game tournaments played on their app. Presenting Skibber.
When people think of a gamer, they imagine the stereotypical hardcore gamer, mostly male, playing PC games for hours in the basement. Hardcore gamers account for less than 20% of the 2.5 billion gamers worldwide. Today, more than half of gamers are casual gamers, who don't even consider themselves gamers, despite playing casual games 6 hours a week during a subway commute, while in the salon, or just before bedtime. In 2019, casual games such as puzzles and arcade accounted for 80% of the total game downloads. Despite these numbers, today's esports industry revolves around hardcore games. Casual gamers have no platform where they can compete and be considered as athletes. Imagine a platform that allows casual gamers to compete, showcase their skills, and go pro. Introducing Skibber, Asia's home of mobile esports. Skibber is an esports super app that hosts skill-based mobile game tournaments across genres like puzzle, arcade, and sports. Users download our app. They choose a game, get matched with another player, compete, and win prizes. We launched our beta in May. Today, we have 7,000 registered players, have hosted more than 100,000 one versus one free tournaments, and have awarded prizes to 50 players. When we start charging an entry fee of 50 cents per person for a 2-person tournament, we can generate revenues of $1 million for every 1 million tournaments. Super excited to announce that we have just signed a strategic partnership with Razer, world's largest lifestyle brand for gamers and esports, which gives us access to 80 million gamers worldwide. We make money by charging a tournament entry fee and through sponsorships. Mobile gaming is close to a US $90 billion industry, larger than the film and music industries combined. Join us in building Skibber. We are raising seed money of US $1 million on an 18-month runway to fund product development, user acquisition, and game acquisition. We have a strong founding team. Our CEO, Michael, is a casual gamer, is a 20-year investment banker who has led billion-dollar IPOs. Our CTO, Saurav, is a professional Counter-Strike player, a full-stack developer, and has scaled apps to millions of users. And as the Chief Product and Growth Officer, I have spent 18 years building and launching scalable B2B and B2C products. If we sustain our trajectory to grow user base to more than 1 million, we could generate monthly revenues of US $200,000 in 2021. Join us in our mission of building a home for casual gamers and help them go pro. The future of gaming is mobile. The future of esports is social. The future of mobile esports is Skibber. Thank you.
Sid, great pitch. Good
Thanks,
job,
man.
man.
Thank
I'm
you.
an avid tennis class player and really looking forward to using Skibber.
Great.
Getting users to come in and play for free for money, that seems like pretty simple, but like how are you going to make money?
Yeah. So our monetization model revolves around tournament entry fees. So we charge a tournament entry fee, and we share revenue with game developers, and we also make money out of it. That's number one. Number two, we also host sponsored tournaments where we make money from advertisers. And the third opportunity is through virtual goods. So these are the three models that we have built.
Okay, so you mentioned game developers, and there's a question from the audience, from Shashank, around how do you source games? What's your strategy for that?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, so the biggest strategy today, if you look at the game developers, right, indie game developers are struggling big time. You know, app stores, they're struggling to push their games on the app stores. So what we are looking at is to look at these game developers and onboard them onto our platform and create a property around their games, so that we can create engagement and a lot of monetization for these game developers, and game developers can focus on just focusing on the experience of that game.
Very good, interesting. A question from Lance, thanks Lance, on competition. How are you different from competitors such as Mogul, Championify, Bounty, Game Pro, Tap, etc.?
Yeah, so we are very casual game focused. We have built the whole platform for casual gamers, mostly focusing on games like puzzles, arcade, and the sports games. The other thing is, from day one, we are creating a global tournament platform. So what that means is that we have cross-border tournaments from day one, and the users can compete through cross-border. And the other important thing is that we are looking at localized games. What that means is we are going to country-specific game developers, getting those games and localizing it, and then putting it on the platform and creating esports around it.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Interesting direction.
Yeah.
Finally, I must just say the Razer partnership.
Yeah.
That's pretty spectacular.
Yeah,
a young company like yourselves getting a giant like that.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Yeah. No, I think Razer has been quite supportive of what we are trying to do, and they, as you know, Razer is majorly focused on the esports hardcore gamer side. So we coming with the whole casual gaming thing, makes a lot of sense. And then we are right now using their platform, their payments platform, to monetize our tournaments, and then going forward, deeper partnerships with Razer. So that gives us access to their 80 million users.
Very good. Great opportunity.
Yeah, great opportunity.
Good. Thanks, Sid. And thanks, guys, for the questions. Keep them coming. Let's move to the next pitch.
I'm pretty sure almost all of us here have rented a property before. whether it is in the residential or commercial space. One of the most painful experiences in renting is parting with the 2 to 10 months worth of rental deposit. Our next team, Your Rent, is showing us how they eliminate rental deposits for everyone. Over to you, Daryl.
Renting a property is expensive and time-consuming because today's commercial and residential rental system is archaic and broken. Rental deposits range from 2 to 10 months of rent, depending on where you are in the Asia Pacific. And trying to get it back can be a real nightmare. While landlords want a deposit to protect themselves, they ultimately care the most about not losing any rental income. Introducing Your Rent, a deposit-free rental and payment platform replacing rental deposits. Your Rent connects to the bank accounts of landlords and tenants and charges the tenant's debit card for any proven expenses. This charge is insured by our A-grade insurance partner in the event that it cannot be deducted. That means landlords are protected always 100%. What's more, landlords are insured for double the value of a deposit and have access to a large network of desirable tenants. Saville's research has forecasted a 15% drop in commercial rentals and a 4% drop in residential rentals by next quarter. But the worst is yet to come. What this means is that landlords need Your Rent more than ever right now. And it's free for landlords and agents. You see, tenants pay an annual membership fee of 2 to 10% of a regular deposit, which is about 50% of gross margin the first year, rising to 70% the following years. Your Rent is a B2B platform for real estate agencies to close more deals and to be superstars at managing their tenancy portfolio. Working closely with these agency partners and helping their teams prosper, we expect to cover the markets we're in a lot faster. Since we started marketing 2 weeks ago, we've had very positive traction with multiple teams from 2 of the largest agencies, 2 co-living operators, and our global underwriter signed up as partners. Add to that over 150 users waitlisted for our launch in August, and an exciting pipeline of partners to work with ahead, we've had to pause our marketing efforts. The market opportunity is colossal. The Singapore deposit market alone is worth $2 billion, and we expect $80 million in revenue from that alone. Moving on to phase 2 and across the Asia Pacific, the deposit market explodes to $900 billion, and with the addition of our marketplace solution, we're staring at a $5 billion revenue opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. A wise man once told me that experienced founders are like fine wine. As CTO, Joshua is a finance and payments full-stack developer with over 13 years of experience in cloud and distributed systems architecture. Complementing Josh, I have 20 years of experience in regional business development and as a startup founder in on-demand home services and property management. In the last 2 months alone, we've developed key partnerships and our first MVP. And we'll be launching our first product next month in August. Our larger ecosystem marketplace platform will be launched next year as we scale across the Asia Pacific. We're raising a $1 million seed round with an 18-month runway to accelerate our growth as we digitalize the current archaic rental system. Our vision is to be the de facto rental management platform for agencies and landlords across the Asia Pacific. We're aiming for 1,000 customers by the end of the year, and we invite you to contact us with investment and partnership opportunities. We look forward to speaking with you. Thank you for your time.
Well done, Daryl. Great pitch.
Thank you.
So, having lived in multiple countries, the deposit always annoys me. I'm always afraid and unsure if I'm going to get it back, so I'm really happy that you guys are solving this problem. I think if we look at, the benefits, and we have here, it's quite clear what it's for the actual tenant. But how does the landlord benefit from your tool?
A very good question, Rufus. Basically, the landlord receives unrivaled protection against rental arrears, as well as damages to the property, as well as the content. And the only reason we're able to provide them double the protection of a regular deposit, so $20,000 for example, instead of $10,000, is because we have a very strategic relationship with our insurance partner to co-create this product that's sold exclusively on our platform. So on top of that, right, the landlords also get to raise and settle any sort of disputes that might arise during the tenancy. And they can also look forward to future products, right, value-added products that we actually have in the pipeline that would really help the landlords, the tenants, as well as the agents to save time and to save money. Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah. And for the audience, at this point in time, I wanted to remind you that if you want to get in touch with Daryl or any of our other teams today, please fill out the contact request form below your screen. So, next question is from Aryun. How does your rent actually make money?
Well, okay, your rent, what we really do with your rent is that we've created a product with this insurance partner of ours, and we actually replace the current deposit, but we actually just charge a fraction of the cost of the deposit. So say, for example, you're paying a $10,000 regular deposit, we basically charge maybe 10%, so that's about $1,000 as a membership fee. And I guess, yeah, that's really how we monetize, and we do that for every year of the lease.
And last question is from Vipin. Do tenants get penalized if they don't pay their rent on time? Or how does that work in a cause of a dispute?
Okay. Well, basically, the tenants are still absolutely responsible, for taking great care of the property as well as paying their rent. So that doesn't quite change. It's only when they default on what is in the tenancy agreement. So if they don't pay any rent or they cause any damages, we basically try to get that money back from them. It's only when we are not able to deduct this money from their bank accounts, for example, that is where the underwriting comes in. So the insurance policy that we have in place will always protect the landlords. Yeah.
Well, Daryl, thank you very much. And I'm very excited to start using your product.
Yeah, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
In the last few months, we have all been rightfully concerned with the workload doctors and medical staff are faced with. Some of us have also wondered whether that extra visit to the doctor will benefit or put us under more risk. Monica has a PhD in immunology and Dheeraj is a machine learning specialist. Their company, Zelf, is here to empower both doctors and patients. Over to you, Monica.
Do you know that in India, there is only one expert doctor for every 5,000 seriously ill patients? This global pandemic has further strained this healthcare system. Imagine the impact. Meet Dr. Pawan. He works at one of the public hospitals in India that's also our first paying customer. He is already 4 times overburdened with patients, and the limited time he gets with the patients, majority of that goes into trivial tasks like collecting and analyzing patients' data. This, on the other hand, often makes patients feel isolated and disconnected. They feel that the information they get on their disease management in the limited time with the clinician is not enough. Well, they are not alone. It's a widely common gap due to skewed ratio. But what if we could actually use technology to empower both doctors as well as the patients? That's exactly what Zelf does. Introducing India's first personalized digital health intervention platform that can easily be integrated with hospitals' electronic health record system. Once the patient has met the doctor, patients get invited onto Zelf platform. As the patient leaves the hospital, they stay securely connected with the care team. Zelf automatically interviews patients with adaptive questionnaire, and all the data is analyzed by Zelf's algorithm powered by machine learning. Patients receive personalized feedback including useful information and instructions for mild symptoms. Data get transferred to care team in real time. They have access to comprehensive dashboard. As soon as something is alarming, care team is alerted immediately. It not only saves time, also leads to high patient satisfaction and reduced call burdens. We are very happy to have paid pilots with 2 of the biggest public hospitals in India. In next few months, we would be catering to more than 30,000 patients. Not just that, we have 5 more hospitals in the pipeline from India, Singapore, Malaysia as well as Nepal. If you are wondering why these hospitals are interested in working with us, the reason is we are uniquely positioned in this region with a focus on patient reported outcomes. There are similar companies majorly in the West, and some of them use sensors to collect vitals data and do predictive analysis for heart and kidney disorders. Good news is, few similar companies have recently raised large amount of money, indicating it's a growing investment opportunity. Further, the recent changes in regulations to promote telehealth in India due to COVID gives us the best time to pioneer digital healthcare in this region. We are majorly a B2B2C company with a subscription model to hospitals, and once the platform is robust enough with good amount of data, we would be licensing it to pharma companies to help with clinical trials and drug discovery. We have a perfect team to win in this space. Dheeraj Mundra, CTO, he has more than 6 years of experience building AI-powered softwares, particularly for healthcare, that has catered to more than 10 million users. I, with a PhD in immunology, have 7 years of experience in the field. I have worked with SingHealth and Roche Group, leading multiple clinical trials and drug discovery projects. We have Dr. A.K. Vaid as our medical advisor. He is a world-renowned doctor with more than 30 years of experience. He has also been awarded with Padma Shri, that's the highest civilian award given by Government of India. We are looking to raise $1 million in investment, reaching 20 hospitals, catering to 500,000 patients and generating 3 million in revenue. We are very happy that with the MVP itself, we are able to see the impact. We are not only reducing burdens for doctors, but also putting patients back in control. So, what are you waiting for? If you are an investor or strategic partner, join us now to build the future of value-based healthcare together.
Monica, that was amazing, and Zelf is definitely something that is so relevant in the current context and with everything happening. We have quite a few questions. I'm going to start with a question from Abhishek saying, was it difficult to get hospitals on board since you work with patients' data?
More than difficult, I would say it's a time-consuming process. In the pre-COVID world, it would generally take us 3 to 4 months to get all the paperwork done, ethics approvals and everything. But luckily, in the post-COVID world, since what we are doing is urgently needed by hospitals, so our approval process was prioritized and we could get it done in like 2 weeks. Saying that, we made sure that we comply with all the Patient Data Act. We don't anonymize data and get the patient consent.
Nice. And from Dinesh, we have a question asking, what is your immediate focus?
Our immediate focus, as I mentioned, we have pilot. So we want to make sure that we successfully complete the pilots. It's with one of the biggest public hospitals. And then from there, we want to get all the learnings and all the feedback, incorporate that in our final product before we start to commercialize it.
So you know, everyone's talking about remote health, telemedicine. It's all become very contextual, you know, given the circumstances. But you seem to offer something a bit more. And can you tell us what is the next step of what you're building for telemedicine?
Sure, that's what makes us exciting as well. We are 3 steps deeper. One is we allow timely interventions using our machine learning algorithms, as I explained in my pitch. Secondly, patients can easily track and understand their health. We use simple graphs and they can see how their health is progressing or deteriorating. Thirdly, they can also share the information with their loved ones. So me sitting here, I don't have to worry about my mom in India. I can just click and look at her health status.
I think that's great because my mom's in India too. So this sounds like a great solution. Well, thank you, Monica. And for the audience, you know, thank you for all the amazing questions. As we're reaching our second last pitch, this would now entail you to get in touch with all the startups that you have watched today. And that would be under the screen where you can get in touch and explain how you would like to be involved with our startups. And there are a myriad of ways that you can. So please do that. And thank you, Monica.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Biogenes, another company from our COVID-19 initiative. Biogenes creates saliva-based diagnostics products via their proprietary technology platform. And this also marks the very first time Antler has invested into a company from Malaysia. Here to tell you more, from Kuala Lumpur, is Adrian Joseph.
Hi, my name is Adrian. I'm one of the co-founders of Biogenes, and I would have really liked to be doing this pitch live in front of you, but because of the COVID-19 virus, that's not possible. And I have had to cancel all of my holiday plans. I'm sure I'm not the only one. The travel industry has suffered with over $300 billion losses, and over 100 million jobs are at stake. We really need to do something. The problem is that over 80% of the cases do not show any symptoms. Thermal scanners are useless, and the current test methods are both too expensive and takes too long. And if you're like me, I would want to know if the person next to me has the virus or not. Introducing COVID Sense, a solution by Biogenes that gives you a test at $5 under 5 minutes with 5G communication capabilities to all our stakeholders. So here's how it works. We take our test strip, we spit into it, we put it into our reader, and we click start. That's how simple it is. We believe this to be the new norm for the travel industry. And we're starting with the Southeast Asian markets, 4 airports. We believe this to bring in a revenue of over $1 billion recurring every year. Now, our technology allows us to print molecular probes called aptamers onto cheap test strips that can be upscaled easily. This aptamers can capture the virus, allowing us to get the results we need. Because of this, we can build many different tests for many different viruses and go for many different segments. We believe that in this new norm, we can continue to meet each other and still exist safely. Now, we've built a strong team. My co-founder and CEO, Tang, has founded technologies in the area of probes and commercialized it globally. My other co-founder, Cheng, is a microbiologist that's commercialized diagnostic kits. And myself, I've commercialized technologies in the area of chemicals and built Malaysia's first plant and animal genomics center. We have an internal team of 10 people and an external team of over 50 people that is working on the biosensor, engineering, medical, and computer science, all to bring you this solution. Our technology is validated, is patented. We have successfully raised funds from both the private and public sector. And as of 2020, we have started making revenue. And one of the 20 customers is what you see in the picture right there. Now, we are right now validating our solutions in our lab. In Q3, we are looking to work with regulators to certify this solution. And at the end of the year in Q4, we are running our first pilot in KL with over 1,000 tests produced a day. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's not nearly as enough, and you're right. And that's why we need you to help us with $2 million and to upscale and accelerate the capture of this billion-dollar market. We're also looking for partners. If you are a VC in the area of the travel industry, we know that you have companies that you've invested in, and we know that we can help you revive your investments there. In summary, we want to know that every person gets tested. We want to reopen borders and reopen the economy. We want to ensure that anyone can operate a simple test. And we want to be able to be prepared for the next outbreak. Would you look at that? My test is done. And I'm happy to report that I can travel because I do not have COVID. Help us bring this solution to the millions of lives that matter. My name is Adrian. I'm from Biogenes, and we make diagnostics simplified.
Ladies and gentlemen, Pooja, all good things come to an end, unfortunately. And we have come to the end of yet another Antler Demo Day from Singapore. Now, to all of you in the audience, I think we already now have this bond and like a social agreement that you will do your best to help the startups you saw today. So click directly on the link of the startup and fill up the form if you're interested in investing, giving feedback, advising, or in some way collaborating or being a customer.
Yes, and if you like what you saw today and want to join us as a founder and have a great idea, or even don't have a co-founder, we are recruiting for our full-time Singapore program and part-time executive program. The application process is simple. Head to www.antler.co/apply, key in your LinkedIn details and follow the instructions. Be sure to specify the location you are interested in joining, and in Singapore we have the regular Antler program and the Antler Executive Program, which is a part-time program.
And the next program starts in October in Singapore.
Thank you all for watching and interacting with us during our demo day, and thank you to the founders. You all did an amazing, amazing job today.
And once again, thank you all of our event partners and everyone involved in putting this together. Thank you Enterprise Singapore, thank you Linklaters, thank you WFW, thank you KR Asia, and all the founders and everyone at Antler. I would like to thank my team. They worked so hard to put this together. Pooja, master of disaster, she was amazing. Thank you. Let's roll the credits. Thank you everyone. Hope you enjoyed it.